The first thing they heard you say was you have blonde hair. Kevin, what other personal information would you like to divulge? Would you like his bank account information? I'm sure he has $11.68 in there.
That's enough to get a month of Crunchyroll.
That's true. You can get a month of Crunchyroll subscription for that. Not sponsored.
Shameless plug!
Since you're so desperate for ad space, Crunchyroll, I mean, we're available. We get an average of like 30 viewers, which is like 10 viewers that go back and forth, so why not?
Baka Gaijin show is not sponsored by Crunchyroll, but it is pretty neat.
We do not endorse the act of child violence. We do, however, find it hilarious.
Speaking of which, I think my favorite episode of me and my sister were watching Game Grumps and Steam Trim and whatever last night.
Right.
And I think my favorite episode, just because the game that they were playing is Who's Your Daddy?
Right. Oh, I never saw that one.
Basically, the goal of the game is one player takes control of a dad, and another player takes control of a baby.
Right.
And the dad has to keep the baby from trying to kill itself.
Right. I like where this is going.
Like there are many different ways the baby can die.
Of course. Just like in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the baby can crawl inside the oven and cook itself to death. It can take a fork and put it in the light socket and electrocute itself.
Classic.
Or it can just eat a bunch of horrible shit like bleach, soap, detergent, batteries, and at some point its health meter goes down and just dies.
That on the flip side, that reminds me of one of my favorite games of all time, that old Adult Swim game where you're an office worker and you have 5 minutes to the next boring meeting and you have to find a way to kill yourself in 5 minutes.
I remember that.
Oh, kill yourself in... I think it was actually called Kill Yourself
5 minutes to kill yourself.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I loved it.
That was amazing.
I spent hours playing that game.
That was... Adult Swim makes good games. They kind of do.
They do, surprisingly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact... Hold on.
Okay. Holding on.
Back in the Newgrounds days, Cartoon Network actually made some really nice Flash games.
You said that like Newgrounds isn't still a thing.
Well, back when it was the most popular thing on the internet.
Right.
And literally everybody in high school who had a computer went to Newgrounds and just played a bunch of
back when everyone was still quoting Metal Gear Awesome, not post-ironically.
Yeah. Oh my god, Hannes. Anyway.
Oh my god, Hannes, I'm gonna bang you. I have a funny story about that. It's not really funny at all, but it's a story.
Then don't call it funny, asshole.
I mean, it might be. I don't know your sensibilities, Kevin. I've only talked to you
find out. Yes.
Probably the combined total of about 5 days straight. Anyway. Before Mugen Souls came out, we were all trying to guess who was going to voice Shushu and her 8 different personalities. And there was a mod at the time, Liner, who liked to give us cryptic hints. Because that's just what we do. That's what you do on NISA forums, is you just guess. Like, whenever games are about to come out, you just, like, guess English casts or whatever. So that's what we did. So he'd always give cryptic hints, and he said something along the lines of that it was someone we probably had never heard of before, and I was like, challenge accepted. I bet I've heard this person before somewhere. I guessed a bunch of times, and he's like, nope. And then it comes out. Turns out it was Kira Buckland who voiced her in all 8 personalities. That was our first mistake. We didn't think they'd be that cheap, because in Japanese, her 8 personalities have 4 different actresses. But NISA is cheap, so they hired one. She did a good job, but they hired one.
Yeah.
And then I realized that, because this was like right before Kira Buckland actually got popular and like professional, and I didn't realize before, but she's Meryl in Metal Gear Awesome, and I was beating myself up for not remembering that. Because they put out a trailer, so we heard her voice. I'm like, I know I've heard this voice somewhere before. I didn't place it.
Interesting.
Yep. And now she's a superstar. Who probably has a lot of Twitter impersonators.
Super Castlevania.
Just opened to Venom. We're ready to go. All right. Let me just load something up here. Beginning in 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to the Baka Gaijin Show. I'm your lovable rascal of a host, Zeke Freak. And to my left is my... co-host, Kevin Faulkner.
Was that? You have the severed head of Walt Disney in a jar complete with DNA test to prove it's real. I can only give you about $50.
Next time on Pawn Stars. And to my right, special guest, friend of the show, TimeenforcerAnubis.
I'm TimeenforcerAnubis, and I got $50 right here.
Ooh.
All right, deal. Here you go.
We have an auction going on. I think the thing that annoyed me, because I used to watch Pawn Stars all the time with my brother, and the thing that annoyed me is that one episode where the guy walks in with like custom-made Spartan armor, and they offer him like $100 for it. Like they didn't quite understand that was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that guy could put that custom armor on like eBay and get like 10 times more for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom used to call Pawn Stars lowball the show.
He kind of is.
Yeah, I'm like, you're on
pretty accurate.
You're on TV. What are you gonna do? Say no? Yeah. That's why you go on Craigslist. Sell directly to the buyer. Cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
Kevin, we give good business advice on this podcast, but that's not the topic of this week's discussion.
Oh,
we are going to go back. Some of you may remember. I used to do old Baka Gaijin show. It wasn't called old at the time because it was new at the time. This is new now, so now it's old. One-man mini podcast done by myself, Zeke Freak. You may recall.
This is the new and improved Baka Gaijin show. That's the old and decrepit Baka Gaijin show.
Okay, so you know how... So we have a city nearby where I live called New London.
Right.
But they don't call London, England, Old London. It's like kind of like that.
That's a fantastic point.
There you go.
There you go. See, he's being helpful again, Kevin. What have you done lately? Anyway.
I managed to become the absolute worst player to ever Nuzlocke run a Pokemon game.
You know what? Before we get to the main topic, why don't you describe that for the audience? Because that sounds like fun.
Well, basically what happened is that you can find it on Twitter on my account, but where else can you find it? But basically what happened is that I decided that I was going to Nuzlocke run Pokemon Red. I did the normal thing. I just went over to Pokemon. I started Pokemon at Bulbasaur, named it Marijuana.
Smoke weed. I don't have the soundboard up, so I'll just imitate it. Smoke weed every day.
And then I got into a battle with my rival, who I named Shit Pop.
Right. Classic.
And I died in the first battle.
Against your rival.
Against my rival. I died in the first battle of a Pokemon game.
You did not
rise up. In a Nuzlocke run!
You did not rise up, fight on the streets, meet the challenge of your rival. You did none of those things.
I was not the very best, like no one ever was.
Exactly. That is 100% the truth. Why don't you explain what a Nuzlocke run is for all the fucking normal fags out there who don't know these things?
Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anubis,
you can Google it, but if you really want me to.
Okay, go ahead.
But basically what happens in a Nuzlocke run is that you... hold on.
I'm holding on. I'm at the edge of my seat, Kevin.
Alright, there we go. Okay. Had a little gas bubble right there. Hate it when that happens.
Had to adjust his balls. They were sticking together.
When your balls stuck to your leg.
Yep.
But basically what happens with a Nuzlocke run is that if a Pokemon faints, you cannot use that Pokemon again. You treat it as if it is dead. and you deposit it into either your PC or you release it. And you are only allowed to capture the first Pokemon you meet in a new area. Some players, including myself, decide to enable what is called the duplicates clause, which is if the first Pokemon you find in an area is a duplicate of a Pokemon you already have, you can skip that one and wait until the next one.
Right.
And if the next one is also a duplicate, then, hey, you're screwed.
Right.
But
it's kind of like
it's-
China's one-child policy. You get one extra chance, and if that fails, you're screwed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
But yeah, that's basically what a Nuzlocke run is.
Right. It's like permadeath for Pokemon.
That's
Roguelike in it.
Yep, pretty much.
Interesting.
Yes. Fascinating, Kevin Easter. Kevin Easter Scrooge.
And for the record, it is considered extremely dumb to die in the first battle of a Nuzlocke run.
Yeah.
I actually saw someone on Tumblr start a Nuzlocke run of Pokemon Emerald,
Right.
but the starters were completely randomized, so they ended up getting Registeel as a starter, and the only attack it knew was Explosion.
That's how you fight the battle frontier right there. Yes, Kevin's stupidity cannot be understated in this matter. It was dumb.
Okay, no, I'm not... Okay, it's like, at the very least, that other person was screwed over by the random number generator. I just really, really suck.
True. When other people suck, it's due to sheer dumb luck. When Kevin screws up, it's just Kevin. You know, what are you gonna do?
I mean, hey, I can't deny it.
Right.
I mean, I could, but then I'd be lying.
Right. So, Kevin, what have you been up to lately aside from that and not watching Shokugeki no Soma because you're a noob?
Actually, I'm going to be starting Food Wars tomorrow. But,
You know, only scrubs call it that.
man, you gotta see the look I am giving you right now.
Text it to me. Text it to me later.
I'll text it to you later.
I'll probably post on Twitter as a joke.
Hey.
It's not my fault you have horrible teeth. Anyway, go on.
And you'll probably Bieberize me or something.
Only if it works.
But, shit.
I can't just pull the Bieber card out whenever I feel like it. That has to be a special occasion.
Oh, right, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But, something interesting actually did happen, because, on the 16th, over on Otaku Midnight,
right.
Me and Cube III are going to be interviewing Kira Vincent Davis. And,
Yep.
that's going to be fun.
Whoa.
I am honest to God amazed that she agreed to do it, but
She's a
here we are.
Sentai actor, right?
She works with both Sentai and Funimation, but she's more common with Sentai.
Whoa. Double teaming. Your cheating heart, please.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know the name of her, she does Mio Sakamoto in Strike Witches and Osaka in Azumanga Daioh.
Right.
So,
Anubis, what do you think? Does that trump any guest you've ever had?
I don't know. We got manga. No, it was Project H one time.
That's true.
oh, nice.
Oh. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Impromptu round of applause. So that's pretty cool. Tune into Otaku Midnight on the 13th?
16th.
20th, got it. Anyway. You know what? I'm not on the show. I don't have to worry about the dates. That sounds like your job, Kevin.
You do if you want to shill it out correctly.
That's true. Remember,
But
we're
of
open for
course-
sponsorships, people.
Of course we are.
Yeah.
But
I will totally remember the name of your product.
But
What is in this month's Cootlate, Kevin?
what?
What is in this month's Cootlate? That's what the kids are
Nice.
calling it, right? Yeah. I'll be here all week. Anyway, what else you up to, Kevin?
Not a whole lot. I'm planning on moving in the next month or so.
back to your mama, running home crying back to your mama.
Well, to be fair, with how the economy is right now, it's kind of difficult to live on your own.
Kevin, I'm going to represent
It's
modern society and mock you mercilessly for it.
Come on, everybody has to be like frickin' Mexican families now. Just everybody living together in the same house, piling into the same room.
Yep. That's what I've been saying.
And possibly sleeping in the same bed and sharing the same toothbrush.
See, I told you.
But that's only if you want it particularly.
I'm telling you guys, Kevin's life is like some sort of weird visual novel. It's weird.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the difference between mine is that nobody wants to play mine.
That's true. Oh, dude, we should do random button VNDB this episode. That'd be cool. Anyway, so you're gonna be moving. That's cool. Understand totally.
But yeah, moving and gonna be interviewing an anime voice actress in 6 days, so that'll be fun.
6 days, people. That's less than a week, but more than a fortnight, I think.
No, fortnight is 2 weeks, man.
Kevin, I don't pay you to correct me.
You don't pay me at all.
That's true. I pay you in witty remarks and blunt sarcasm. Anubis, what have you been up to?
Not too much. Been playing Elite Dangerous mostly.
Ooh. Not Elite Beat Dangerous, just Elite Dangerous.
Just Elite Dangerous. There's no beat.
Yeah, there's no beat. Bunch of Jews got no rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understandable. Me personally, I finished marathoning Arc 5, all caught up now.
I got no rhythm, he says, with rhythm.
Exactly. Now you understand what I'm talking about. So I finished marathoning Arc 5, all cut up, just in time for it to be delayed by ping pong. I have excellent timing, Kevin.
By ping pong, do you mean ping pong the animation or actual ping pong?
Actual ping pong, the China-Japan Women's International Championships.
Oh, well, that's boring.
Yeah. Your average episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is way more important than that.
It's like, why don't you just run like tennis or something? Like, table tennis is even worse.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine these. It's not like you have that really satisfying whenever the ball hits the racket. No, you have this tiny little tink tink.
Exactly.
You don't get any grunting either.
And yet they still smash it and yell whenever they hit it or something.
Oh! Yeah, I wish it was the men's competition just so we could hear that. Oh! It'd be like fucking E Honda getting beat. You know.
The rhymes of that like Subaru E Honda. I'm the king of dick jungle with a giant anaconda.
I love how all the comments on Spaz Kid's videos are, you should animate porn, and he's like, ha. Yeah.
Joke's on you. That's fucking great, though. You should animate porn about that.
I've got something to tell you. www.
Boy, sit down.
Now, this is a story all about, That is fantastic. I forgot what I was talking about, but that's fantastic. Oh, yeah, ping pong. I hate it. It's just as Konata predicted. Sports broadcasts are the bane of anime, and they always have been.
Yeah.
Yep. Hell, World Trigger is getting canceled because of sports.
Oh Christ! That's right. It is. To be fair, isn't it catching up to the manga?
Yes, it's been riding the manga's ass like a really impatient driver. I needed to cook that.
Move it, asshole!
I needed to cook that metaphor a little longer. It's still a little frozen on top. Kevin, good metaphors are like potatoes. They don't microwave easy.
Unless you poke some holes in it.
I just realized that in itself was a metaphor, so this podcast has just gone full meta. And once again, this circle is a metaphor for circles. Anyway.
This podcast is a metaphor for podcasts, part 2.
We're not calling it that, Kevin. We have to be more original than that.
Of course.
Yes.
This is basically the sequel to that, so...
Well, technically every episode is the sequel to the last one, Kevin.
No, but this is the sequel to that particular story arc.
Yeah, exactly. I see what you're saying, Kevin. Welcome to our Force Awakens discussion, part 4. Anyway, yes. It's always been like riding right up on it, and just a combination of TVosity wanting to fill it with a sports slot. Which, by the way, World Trigger airs at 6:30 in the morning on Sundays. I'm like, damn, Japanese kids get up early.
No, they don't. No one watches it at that time.
That's true. That might be the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a shit time slot. But here's the thing, Kevin. If nobody's going to get up...
It's 6:30 a.m. in Japan is basically the same as 11:30 here in America. It constantly gets preempted by sports and nobody's up at that time. Or nobody watches.
Right. But here's the thing, Kevin. If people aren't going to watch World Trigger at 6:30 in the morning, why would they watch a sports variety program? That's my question. I think the real answer is that people just don't watch TV at 6:30 in the morning.
See, that's too simple, though.
Yeah. They got to overcomplicate it. TVosity doesn't know what they're doing. They removed the sex scene from Shinsekai Yori because totally they had let that on the air. That was a dumb conversation to have. People still blame them for like the anime adaptation taking out a sex scene from the novel, and I'm like, they weren't gonna do it no matter what channel they were airing it on.
But what if they were airing it on Tokyo X? They still wouldn't have fucking put it in, retard.
Yeah, this is that's the dumbest argument since Neptunia the animation killed JoJo's.
Wait, what?
Also,
wait, what? Whoa, okay, back up. What?
Neptunia the animation was also done by David Production.
I'm sorry, JoJo was going to look like ass no matter what they did.
Yeah, also, more JoJo's coming, so who's laughing now? Checkmate atheists. Wait.
By the way, please watch Part 4 next month. Part 4 is like the best part of the manga.
As an atheist, I have found that you can make any sentence funnier by adding checkmate atheist at the end of it.
By adding what?
By adding checkmate atheist at the end of any sentence, it makes it funnier.
That's true.
Proven comedy gold.
Insert laugh track. Anyway, we are...
I could if you wanted me to.
No.
But, what the fuck was I saying? Something about sports and television. We get off track a lot. But that's okay, because the people love it.
That's just our format.
Exactly. So anyway, I don't want to go on about it too long, but Arc 5 is fucking amazing. And I cannot wait for more. I actually got into, like, you know, after you finish marathoning something, you got, like, that weird depressive state for, like, 2 days. I was into that.
I believe there's actually an Amazon Prime commercial that runs on
Yeah. The show hole. That refers
to that as a show hole.
You've fallen into the show hole.
Show hole.
Why even have a TV?
And, you know, me and my...
It just shows her throwing the TV into the ground and starting to bury it.
Me and my family actually kind of assimilated that term because it fits. It really does.
Yeah. I mean, really. Really.
Because we know that. As anime fans, me and my sister both know that.
Right.
Like we freaking marathon everything. Like when I marathon Hunter x Hunter in like 2.5 weeks, at the end I was just like, I feel dead inside.
Speaking of, I think I tweeted about this. I might not have. I found out that the guy doing series composition for Arc 5 was also the series composition guy for 2011 Hunter x Hunter.
Hey, no wonder you like this.
I'm not saying that has a correlation. I'm just saying it probably has a correlation.
You can smile again.
Exactly. Although he was only from like episode 39 onward, but that's a lot of the series.
Yeah. That's
most of, statistically speaking. Mathematically, percentage-wise, yes. And yeah, I know he didn't write it, but he was in charge of adapting it, so clearly something rubbed off on him.
Clearly. But
clearly.
Enough aimless rambling. What is our first topic up on the chopping block?
chopping block. Well, I want to start with the illegal streaming thing because I'm not sure. Cause I feel like that might be pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you the article to refer back to, Kevin, because I'm sure you've lost it because you're just an irresponsible git that way.
Yeah, because I'm a twat.
Yeah, send it over DMs.
Over dums.
Over DMs.
Dum dum
Dims.
dum 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 dum.
You're really mad when people call it PMs because it's not PMs, it's DMs.
Well,
Drive
it's
it
like,
messages.
but that's like, well, I'm sorry. I've been on forums my entire life.
Exactly. Until I get kicked off all of them.
V Bulletin, yo.
Yep. Until I get kicked off all of them. Thanks, a dude abides. The worst fucking mod.
You know, it's funny. Because of that guy's name, you can never, ever watch The Big Lebowski ever again.
That's true. His avatar was from the Big Lebowski. It had the one guy, but it was like a black and white photo, but the sunglasses were all Technicolor.
Oh, that's even... Oh.
The douchiest of all possible mod avatars.
That sounds so fucking hipster, it hurts.
Well, I mean, based out of...
And I don't mean good hipster, I mean bad hipster.
I think NISA is based in Santa Monica, I think. Or San Diego, one of those two. Anyway.
San Diego, California, 92410 or something, I don't know.
Where do you live?
I live in Hemet.
I don't know what that is.
It's I believe south of Moreno Valley. California.
The point is, you're within driving distance to give a dude abides a punch in the face for me, and I would very much appreciate it.
Yeah.
I would promote you to executive podcast co-host.
Ooh. Me?
Ooh, yeah. It's a meaningless title, but it makes insecure people feel better about themselves. Anybody
Yeah,
know what
it
I'm
makes
talking about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love that joke because right after that joke, the executive producer credits play. Clear good. You got the article up. You got the article up, Kevin?
All right, let me bring it up.
Okay. I'll wait 5 minutes for you to click 2 buttons. I just slurp my venom.
Well, 4
Like a
actually,
snake.
but who's counting? Oh, yeah, you are. You dumb.
Yeah.
Okay,
Truth be
so,
told,
I got it open, and oh my god.
I like to sip my venom energy like a snake. They sip, right? Unlike vampires, which don't suck, Kevin, they scrape and lick.
Dracula, scrape and lick. Scrape and lick.
Vampires do not suck. They scrape and lick. Scrape and lick. I love that.
Scrape and lick.
I can't remember the context. My brother and I were doing that joke earlier. It is classic.
So, this article, what do you want me to do?
Surmise it for me. Or just read it. You can do that.
Okay, in summary, illegal streaming is bad. Go to Crunchyroll.
Okay, that's the stupid version.
Well, you
Man,
told me.
Wow, I'm really paying for the public high school experience here. Great teaching.
Okay, basically,
I mean, you don't have to read all the figures and stuff, but just his general point.
the general point is that by watching illegal streaming sites such as Kiss Anime and whatever, you are costing the official people who actually create anime and allow it to be streamed on places like Crunchyroll and whatever. By watching it on illegal streaming sites like Kiss Anime, you are contributing to millions of dollars in monetary loss for them.
Right. It varies from show to show, obviously, but his conclusion is in a year the anime industry loses 33 million to 132 million due to viewers not watching legal streaming options.
Now, admittedly, that is a humongous margin of error, but
yes, I pointed out a few of my grievances with this article to you, Kevin, and you didn't respond because I shocked you into coma therapy, as I usually do with my bullets of truth. But There he goes again, fainting on me. Getting the real public high school experience here. That is now my new favorite joke. That's my favorite joke since referring to myself as my uncle's sister's child. Because somebody used that on me once, and it took me a minute to realize they were just referring to themselves.
Yeah.
Or their sibling, but I knew they were an only child, so... Right. Anyway, not only is that an enormous...
It's like that actually does remind me of a little bit of a slip-up I made, because
Right.
Rob Liefeld, the co-creator of Deadpool,
Right.
said that he was apparently the son of a Baptist minister, and I fouled up and said that he was the son of a pastor's father. I'm just like, wait a second, that doesn't fucking...
That doesn't work. I think I remember... Who's the other creator of Deadpool? Because I was just hearing about him.
I really forget, actually.
I was watching that 107 Facts About Ben 10 video, and they went on some tangent about the guy who made Deadpool.
Well, whoever he is, he's not the one who cameoed in the movie. So.
That's true. Who did cameo in the movie?
Rob Liefeld.
Motherfucking Liefeld. Anyway, so that's a huge margin of error, and I find the very basis of his calculations to be very flawed. He's going off this assumption of let's see where it was. Someone was doing a rough estimate of published data online from Netflix, saying that typical 40-minute episode of TV is about 7 cents per watch. Cut that in half to 3.5 cents, and then he has a bunch of estimates here, high, mid, and low, but put those in the right order. The problem I have is that is an assumption in and of itself, but it also makes a lot of other assumptions because he's looking at view counts. First of all, he's looking at one site's view count. I shouldn't have to tell you how many illegal streaming sites there are.
They are uncountable, actually.
Yes.
Like, a new one pops up every week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You strike one down, and they become more terrifying than you could ever possibly imagine. But realistically, yes, they do. Like they go down, new ones go up under new management, and things like that. So just going by one site's view counts, and I know I'm like kind of defeating my own argument here by saying the view number is actually higher than he's saying. But that's another problem I have with it is that you can't go by view count. That's the whole reason why YouTube doesn't do its algorithm by view count anymore, because you can cheat that easily. And there's no guarantee that everyone counted on this view count watched the whole thing. I guarantee you 10% of them watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. That's kind of just how internet figures work. You get a view number, maybe 10% of that actually watched the whole thing, at least in my experience. I'm pulling that number out of my ass, but there's no way it's the whole thing. So that's the other problem, is that these figures are nowhere near as high as his are, even if he was using more accurate data, because, again, I find the very foundation of his calculations to be flawed, and he's got an enormous margin of error regardless.
Yeah.
And also, but to the greater point is, you can't calculate lost sales in this way, because I guarantee you most of the people that go to these illegal streaming sites are not going to switch to illegal streaming site even if you take away their option to watch things illegally. They're just going to drop anime altogether. And people retort to me, I'm like, well, that's just a bluff. I'm like, there's no way everyone who says that is bluffing.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
There's a large collective of people who only watch anime or watch anything because it is the way they do it, free and easily accessible. You take that away from them, and all of a sudden they're just not interested. You know.
It's the interest plus accessibility.
Yes. And
take away the accessibility, and the interest dies.
Right. And then you got all the other issues that we discussed in our previous piracy topic. To quick recap. Varying areas of localization and distribution. Not everything is available everywhere, especially in streaming. All those sorts of things. And I've long been a believer that the thing is, I would give all the money in the world if I had all the money in the world to give, but I don't. And personally, I don't think it's the poor's duty to sit down and do nothing because they can't afford to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure Kevin knows what that's like. He's got $11.87 in his bank account, which is 13 higher than I said earlier.
You know, it's funny because that's actually probably accurate at the moment.
Kevin, I'm right there with you, man. I know what bank accounts are like. I know for a fact, Kevin, that you are not a student, but you probably have a student bank account so that you don't have to pay the charges.
Yeah.
I think I'm on the money. I think I'm right on the money. But anyway, thoughts, guys, because I'm tired of running my mouth.
Yeah. I will admit
Sorry,
that...
tokens of venom.
I will admit that illegal streaming is a huge problem, and the prevalence of it does damage the industry to a degree. Probably a large degree. But at the same time, though, there must be... There is not a whole lot you can do about these people going to these illegal streaming sites and, you know, striking them all down. It's like, well, now Crunchyroll is your only option. Again, like you said, it's accessibility. Again, like I said and like you implied, it's interest plus accessibility. Kill off accessibility, interest goes shortly afterward.
Right.
And a lot of these people, casuals, if you will.
I wouldn't even call them casuals. I would just call them non-committal.
That's probably a more accurate term, okay.
Right.
The non-committal fans will just say fuck it and go on to the next big thing.
Right.
It's not like people like you or me where we're happy to pay for the anime that we like, and you know we will, but
eventually, yeah.
But you know, a lot of people just either don't want to or can't, and you know, I will admit, illegal streaming does have, playing devil's advocate here, but it does have a use in the fact that there are countries in which a lot of shows don't stream legally, so that's really your only option for watching those.
Mm-hmm.
So at the same time, you're also taking away the only avenue for certain people to watch shows that they like.
Yeah, and that's a lot of fans. It's a lot of word of mouth.
Oh yeah.
We probably brought this up early in episode 7, and I think it was on our piracy topic. But piracy is basically advertising. You know, it's probably a great generator of word of mouth.
Oh, to a certain extent, yeah.
It actually it goes hand in hand with the old saying of "there's no such thing as bad advertising."
Right. I think, like I tweeted, I don't so much justify piracy as I accept its inevitability.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it does have its uses, but it's not like I'm gonna say, oh yeah, this is totally good in a lot of ways. Like, I'm not gonna endorse it. I personally won't. It's like, I really would prefer it if people would go for as many legal options as possible for as many shows as possible, but that's just not doable for a lot of people. Heck, there are a number of shows that I am a fan of that are not legally available to me, like the Kamen Rider series or the Pretty Cure series. I can't watch those legally. I gotta go to fan subs.
Yeah. I can't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! The way it was meant to be watched legally. I mean, that's starting to change now. Slowly. 5 episodes a month, actually. But, you know.
It is changing.
Yeah, that was the way for the longest time, and it's only now just slowly changing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, here, my problem with this article, because I'm on board with the entire main idea of this article, that there is a certain amount of harm done to the industry by illegal streaming sites. But my issue is that it doesn't have a lot of nuance in it. Because you can say there's a certain amount of harm done, but at the same time, how are people outside of certain countries going to access these shows? How are people who just don't have the income but still want to see this content going to watch these shows? And to a certain extent, I feel like the answer to that is some people are just gonna be unable to watch the shows, and I'm not all right with that personally.
Yeah.
Right. You know, like I get the point of this article because people always say,
Like-
"Oh, you're doing harm," and this guy's just trying to figure out how much harm.
I have friends who are in Russia, Norway, Puerto Rico, and other places like that who cannot watch these sorts of shows legally because they don't have any sort of way to actually watch them there.
Right.
It's just not available, flat out.
Right. And that's a lot of fans and a lot of communities and a lot of word of mouth that's missing.
Hell, there are a ton of fans of there are a ton of my friends who would love to watch Digimon Adventure Tri legally, but Crunchyroll is not allowed to stream it in the United Kingdom.
Oh, we don't want none of that Digimon Tri up in our grill. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a legitimate concern. Because what I'm concerned about is the community.
Yeah.
How are we going to grow the community if we're going to vilify all the people who would probably like to access this stuff legally, but can't due to either their budget or the fact that the stuff just isn't available.
Right. You know, in a perfect world, every show would be available on some platform everywhere for a reasonable cost, but that's not the world we live in.
And everybody would be able to afford it.
Right.
Or want to afford it.
And Kevin could get some fine A dental surgery to fix his goddamn dentures. That would be a perfect world. But
oh, yes, it would.
Yeah.
I would not have these horrific vampire molars.
Exactly. He wouldn't bleed every time he bit an apple. Seriously, dude.
Blah!
Your teeth are disgusting.
I mean, that said, at the same time, I still think it's important to make sure people know that legal streaming options are out there.
Right.
Because some people might just not know.
I mean,
they might not know about Crunchyroll, and they might have been told about like Kiss Anime from their friends or whatnot. And
there are actually plenty of people who think that Kiss Anime is a legal streaming site.
There you go.
That might have something to do with the giant banner that says we are totally a legal streaming site, but yeah, I mean.
Wait, they have that?
No, I'm joking.
I don't know. I haven't been there in months.
I've never been there. I've always used actual illegal streaming sites. Thank you very much. But
the deep web.
Take me to the deep web. Yeah, I bet the fucking preteens at my library who are always on Kiss Anime on their phones totally don't know that there are legal options. Do they care? I don't know, but that's just it.
There's no telling whether they care or not until they know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I just want to touch on that.
I will say if you have the option, please at least consider.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If you're making fucking bank and you're not supporting this industry, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
But, you know.
If you can, please support legal streaming options like Crunchyroll, Hulu, or Netflix.
Yeah. Not Funimation, though. They're dicks. Nobody likes them.
Well, honestly.
Can't translate for shit.
Support Funimation, too.
I mean, I found a couple minutes ago. I just found an article that has.
In the end, go with the option that suits you best.
Right.
If Funimation suits you best, go with them. If Crunchyroll does, go with them.
Yeah.
But
if Media Blasters does, just laugh in their face.
Yeah,
Media Blasters doesn't suit anyone best.
That's true.
If Media Blasters opens up their own legal streaming service.
I would like to actually get the 6-person loft that they currently operate out of and make it Baka Gaijin headquarters. And we'd still be more successful than them. Oh, what it would be like to be 6 guys in a New York loft. That's a business.
But yeah, I mean, I just found an article that has a list of legal streaming sites for anime.
Maybe.
And I'm sitting here looking at them and saying, why isn't this everywhere?
Yeah. Why isn't there 4 ads on one page for Crunchyroll? That's they need it. We joked about that earlier, but so I think this ties in to and Anubis, you may need. Oh, Kevin dropped. That sucks.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, while we wait for him, you might want to fix your mic again because it's kind of going all wobbly again.
Uh-oh.
Please stand by. Technical difficulties.
Because, I mean, the way I fixed my mic the first time was by using a different mic.
Oh, that's a good solution. Let's see what is the problem, and let's try to find the problem and correct the problem. Can you move it away from you a little bit?
How's that?
Better. It's a little echoey, I guess. Not echoey, but it sounds like you're recording out of a can, I guess.
Oh.
It's like this weird gurgling in the back, like.
Fuck.
Hey, Kevin. Thanks for joining us.
Shut up.
On our Hello Kitty Island adventure.
God, I don't even know what I was saying.
Anyway, Kevin, this ties in nicely to Baka Gaijin show, old school Baka Gaijin show, episode 6, that you wanted to talk about. Because this came up because it's been over a year since I did solo Baka Gaijin show. I do miss it. I want to do it again one day. But and my views on a lot of the topics I discuss have changed over time slightly. In the biz, we call it character development, but I just call it an excuse to do a podcast topic. So number 6 was, of course, the anti-aniplex argument, famously aired and discussed on NTR Radio episode 37, I think.
I think so. I don't know what number it was.
Yeah. Kevin, were you going to say something?
What is the anti-aniplex argument, anyway?
It was a 2-part video I did discussing my grievances with Aniplex as a company at the time. And I've since come to be a little bit ashamed of that video because of how forceful and pretentious I came across as, I believe.
Yeah, we've all had that phase.
Yeah. Anubis, are those the correct words to use?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is that you made a bunch of dumb assertions.
That is true. That is true. Anyway, my opinion on the matter has changed slightly over time. Mostly due to, at the time they didn't do this, but now they do it all the time where they put all their shit on Netflix now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good practice.
Yes. Put it up for not free, but, streaming.
Beginning of this month, they actually uploaded Your Lie in April with both subtitles and dub.
And dub titles. Those are great. Princess Mononoke dub titles. Anyway. Making these shows inaccessible. Yeah, like that they are fixed one of my major complaints about accessible them. Which is that show, if you want to buy our expensive box sets, then we're going to keep them as they're. I'm like, I think that's fair. I think that's more fair.
My internet must be acting up because for like frickin' 30 seconds straight, you were stuttering like hell.
No, Kevin, that's me having an aneurysm. I'm hunting rabbits.
Don't make fun of his aneurysm.
Yeah. It's a serious fucking ableist
medical condition.
Ableist prick.
Ugh. I know I should be burned at the stake.
I'm gonna go make cookies out of my own vagina blood. Anyway.
Jesus. I can't believe people actually do that, but
Oh, you retweeted that tampon shrine, what was that fucking tampon shrine on the wall?
I know, and I was like, I'm gonna be sick.
I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like, even some of my friends who are into social justice look at that stuff and it's like, okay, it's not my place to say, but you got a problem.
Moment of silent disgust.
Yeah, it's just them going.
Wow, oh, Kevin spoke. He's not disgusted enough.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yes. Anyway, now they're making their shows and their dubs widely available through Netflix. I no longer have that issue with them because if they want to make the shows available and then still have their expensive box sets, I'm like, that's more fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we also have them showing some different series on Toonami.
Right.
Like both Sword Art Online and Kill la Kill have made they have done bomb numbers on Toonami.
Exactly. They made bank. E.J. Rivera can finally afford a new coat. And they can afford to replace all the equipment he keeps knocking over. Oh, Mr. Rivera. You are a treat.
Like Kill la Kill was so damn popular that it's actually in reruns.
Whoa.
And
like Linus's younger brother reruns?
It brings up the end of the block and actually still does really solid numbers for airing at 3 a.m.
Kevin, is anything ending soon? Because the Hunter x Hunter wiki wants to know if we're getting a Toonami airing.
Parasite is ending in 1 or 2 weeks.
Possible.
The final episode airs next week.
Kevin, the hype is rising.
I know.
We have to be getting dub details soon. Soon. When's AX? July?
Yeah, I think July.
Yeah. Maybe then. Maybe next week.
I mean, isn't that where we got word about the dub in the first place?
No, that was New York Comic Con, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, AX Viz tends to do some pretty solid AX panels, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get some more information regarding the Hunter x Hunter dub then.
Yeah. Unless they're like, it's out and it's on Toonami yesterday, if they announce it on Sunday. And everyone's like, yeah, we know, we were there. Except me, because I don't have cable.
Me neither, but, it's just nice to have it on Toonami so that other people can watch it more easily and say...
Exactly.
And, so I can say, Hunter x Hunter was on Toonami.
Yeah. Toonami
it's just
approved.
A nice little bragging thing.
Yeah. Toonami approved, just like SD Gundam.
SD Gundam was actually not Toonami's decision to air. Bandai just happened to have it, and they were like, hey guys, you're airing all these other Gundam shows, why don't you air this one? And Toonami was like,
I remember.
I
think around that time, weren't they airing shit like Transformers Armada or something?
Well, that's different because it's Transformers, bitch.
Yeah,
and people actually liked Armada.
Did you like Armada?
When I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway.
It's like, I still like parts of it. Like, Starscream had a really good story arc. But it hasn't aged
Starscream
well.
always has a good story arc. Like, in every incarnation.
I don't know.
Except the movies, maybe, where he's defeated by Shia LaBeouf.
I don't know.
Throwing a grenade in his neck.
I don't know. In Transformers Prime, he was mostly a bitch.
You take that back. I mean, he was a bitch.
I'm sorry. Half his lines in there were just screaming in horror at Megatron about to kick his ass.
That's what makes him Starscream.
I know, but
yeah.
Though I will admit, hearing Steve Bloom do a high-pitched screech as Starscream is fucking hilarious.
I still can't decide if I prefer him or Tom Kenny.
I'm personally a Steve Bloom fan. So.
I don't know, man. I think Tom Kenny did a very different take on it, which I liked.
Yeah, it was good, yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, Steve Bloom's just badass altogether.
Yeah,
so.
he's just Steve Bloom. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. And we're gonna take a quick break because I gotta piss.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was abrupt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have to go piss now.
Utilitarian.
Yeah,
very
you two.
pragmatic.
Yeah. Forceful decision making on a budget.
Stay tuned. You're watching the Baka Gaijin show.
Wah, 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 wah. All right, you two entertain the audience. I have to go disperse some liquids into a porcelain bowl.
You just charged me with the incorrect job.
Okay, Kevin, you entertain the audience by pretending you're talking to us. And then whoever comes in as you're doing that will think you're just crazy, and then they'll leave. But, you know, I mean, can't win them all. Anyway, I'll be right back.
I, honest to God, have nothing to say right now.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
But seriously, Transformers Prime was a good show.
I have never really quite bothered all that much with Transformers.
Honestly, Transformers Prime is probably the one that is the most traditionally good out of all the cartoons. Like, animated has a bit of that traditional Saturday morning feel to it, and it doesn't really focus on the Decepticons until Season 2. And, yeah, they waste Season 1 on a bunch of human villains that are nowhere near as interesting. And Beast Wars was very goofy and ridiculous in the first season, but afterwards it really improved. I'd say that Transformers Prime is the one that you should probably check out if you really want to get into it, because it's the one that really focused the most on an overall dark worldview and tone. Like,
Gotcha.
it really took the element of them being in a war and actually did something with it. Like, characters actually died regularly. And the action got pretty brutal. Like, if these were human characters, this would not have gotten a Y7 rating at all. Like, there was one scene at the end of season, I want to say season 1, beginning of season 2, where Optimus and Megatron were in a battle, and then Optimus friggin' dropkicked Megatron onto the ground and revved his tires on Megatron's face.
Nice.
It was fucking badass. And you could see Energon just flying everywhere, because, you know, Energon is kind of like Transformer blood. Like, you just saw Energon flying everywhere. It was kind of brutal to watch. Like I saw that, I was just like, oh, that's gnarly. I love it. Because, you know,
It's okay, everyone.
I'm a fucked up asshole. I'm a fucked up asshole.
I found grapes. It's okay. And people generally like grapes. So now I can dangle them over my own head like royalty and eat them.
You hear that?
Nobody else will do it for me.
If you don't like grapes, you're not a person.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I'm sorry. Whenever someone comes in, it's like, I have grapes. I think of hedonism, bot. I just cannot help but think of hedonism, bot.
You watched my Vine compilation. Did you see the Vine I did? Where it's a close-up of me eating a grape, and then it pans away, and I'm holding up the grapes myself. I'm like, I can't afford any slaves.
No, I didn't. I believe I saw compilations 2 and 3.
Right. I forget what's in them.
The red spy is in the base! That's racist! Oh yeah, and then another favorite of mine was where you were on Crunchyroll, but then you went to the search bar, typed in nya.se, clicked enter, and then do what you want because a pirate is free. That's racist!
I've been making ditties, and I wish I could just upload footage instead of having to point my camera at shit.
And then there was the what was it? Question: If the sword came before the came before the... What was it?
Something like if the pen is mightier than the sword, does the egg still make a sound or something?
No, it was it was if the egg is mighty if the sword is mightier than the chicken, does that mean the pen came before the egg? Wait, what?
Something like that.
Like, I laughed at that one for a good few minutes.
Yep. That's how it goes. That's how it goes, Kevin.
I mean, the pen's mightier than the chicken. That's what it was.
Right.
It took me a minute, but yeah, that's what it was.
You eventually arrived at the correct destination. Kevin, you're in a coastal area.
I had to take a few detours.
I mean, relatively speaking.
Anubis, you alive?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Dude just likes to lurk in the background, pop in when he's needed.
Now, are we talking like regular lurking or 4chan lurking? And
You're
just going to turn on your camera at one point and just flash your dick at us.
See, I'm like a lurker from StarCraft Brood War.
Yeah.
I don't have a regular attack, but I burrow beneath the ground and unleash spines at anything that gets near.
Right.
Ah,
See, that's how you cook a metaphor.
What the fuck that is?
That's how you cook a metaphor, Kevin. You're just too normal fag to get it.
You're just in the for shut up.
See, Anubis is not the hero we deserve, but the hero we need.
I'm not even certain if I'm the hero we need. I'm just here.
I need a hero.
Kevin, you feel like getting another copyright strike?
No.
Okay. Just wondering. It's not your channel. You don't get to make that call.
Wait, see, no, don't!
Oh, if I can find it.
Please don't. Please don't find it.
Where's my phone? Making a lot of unnecessary noise looking for my phone. There you go.
You do.
Oh, that reminds me. We got to do the random button VNDB.
Oh, right. Hold on.
All right, let's get on VNDB while we're still in break.
Bringing it up.
Yep.
Bringing it up.
VND.org, gotta click that random button, yeah, till we find a description worth reading that'll cause lots of hilarity.
Here we go, VNDB.org. And...
You see, Anubis, we have two favorite games when it comes to VNDB's random button. One, press it till you find a visual novel that looks worth a damn, and two, press it until you find a description that's so awkward and disgusting and hilarious you have to read it out loud. What's this?
Okay. Anniversary Memories of Summer Vacation tells the story of a young girl named Ringo. One night, Ringo witnesses an impish girl named Cherry seducing another girl.
Right.
At first, she feels repulsed, but after a while, finds out that she is excited. Soon, she and Cherry become lovers and soulmates, unaware of the fact that Cherry is being hunted by the authorities.
Damn those authorities. I think you can do better.
I probably can.
Yeah.
I remember, man, we found this one that was like ultra fucked up.
Oh, it was so ultra fucked up. It took place in the ultra sexual netherverse.
I remember that.
The mayors of the ultra sexual netherverse. Yeah.
Oh my god. We could not stop laughing. That was too good.
Oh, I think I know this one.
Takami, a town of heavy snowfall. In this village is the commonplace idea of the existence of God. Due to his parents' situation, Kono Masaki moves into this village. But on the same day, he is ordered by Shiro, the god of Takami, to become her husband. Overwhelmed, Masaki accepts, and on the following day transfers to his new school. Yuki, the daughter of a family that wields the utmost power in Tagami, falls in love with Masaki on first sight and confesses. Once again, Masaki accepts. Man, you're a man whore! And so starts a strange relationship between a god and a human, 2 girls and 1 guy. Surrounded by new friends, he experiences days filled with bliss. However, just as he was becoming accustomed to his new life, how do you become accustomed with 2 hoes on your dick? Yuki makes a suggestion. I want to make a child with you. With this one line, their lives drastically change. And God comes down and goes, excuse me, bitch.
Trying to find something good. Something bad, but something good to read.
Like, something that's actually fucking funny.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's just like, okay, that's gross, but
like
not funny.
Like the rape mares of the ultrasexual netherverse.
I don't think they were rape mares. I think they were somewhat consensual mares, but there was some kind of mare.
Play as an unnamed female narrator as you suddenly wake up in a dark room and move around to find yourself in a circus theater where you will witness probably one of the most disturbing things in your life.
Probably.
Oh no, endless PewDiePie videos! It's PewDiePie! Ah!
PewDiePie! Fucking
Masaru has a crush for Saki, but she loves another guy. It's time to use that trusted hypnosis manual I found in the library. Okay.
Oh, that's not it.
An adventure game with female voices in which you are to have sex with your younger sister in school. The story can
be anything!
Yeah, that's like 85 trillion visual novels.
Oh, hold on. The story can be played from both brother's side and younger sister's side. It also features 2 stories of the sister getting penetrated by a school janitor.
Nice.
It's just adding that on, oh yeah, and by the way, the janitor comes in and puts his dick in it.
Yep.
Ah, Amorous Professor Cherry. There's a classic.
I like the one where you fuck your niece and it's called One Lazy Sunday or something.
Oh yeah, that one.
Nope. The stupid thing is, when they say they have every visual novel, they have every visual novel.
Like, Google even the most friggin' obscure visual novel and they probably have it.
And they have all those, like, shitty American ones that are made by nobodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who probably entered them themselves. Alright, what's this one? Bokudake no Live, Rise no Fukitonda, Idol to Hamedore Seiko. All my live, the fuck shoot with idols without sense.
Without sense is correct.
The fuck shoot. Kevin, it's the fuck.
Oh, it was the lewd mares of the ultrasexual netherverse.
There we go. There we go. Lewd mares.
It was Hentai Masaho Shoujo Risa.
Oh yeah, it was like that 3-year-old magical girl who was both paradoxically somehow 3 and not. She's like Schrodinger's magical girl, I swear.
Okay, I'm going to look that one up and just read it off because this is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, Anubis needs to hear that one.
Okay.
I love the ones that start with a conversation. Hey, you know that J-pop group? The ones that are internet famous? Oh, dude, that latest video is hot. Oh, those girls are so I can't even. Those girls are so I can't even. I want a piece of that. I know, right? They're all virgins. Just imagine what being in the middle of all that virgin pussy. As I listened to other guys crassly discuss my beloved pop stars, my blood boiled. The whole world wanted to take their purity. I felt like it was going to happen. Before anyone else defiles them, I'm going to claim all 9 idols for myself. Surely they'll be happier wrapped in my love than wrecked in some loony jerk. It's my duty. It's for everyone's sake.
Okay. This is Hentai Maho Shoujo Risa. Risa Kotomi, to put it simply, was a 3-year-old girl who loved sex.
Great start.
I think they might have meant 13 or 23, but no, 3-year-old girl who loves sex. Jesus. Her first experience sent her on a climactic rampage. She came and came and came. As always, she off to an orgy party in the park, when suddenly she was attacked by lewd mares of the ultra-sexual netherverse. Risa was exquisitely seized.
No, what was it? Exquisitely sieged?
Seized.
Yeah, exquisitely seized. Love that.
A strange being appeared before her. Sign a contract with me. I want you to become a magical girl. So suddenly this turns into frickin' Madoka Magica. It was like a scene from an anime. The lewd mares.
It's just like one of my favorite Japanese animes.
You were talking about some dumbass anime no one gives a fuck about!
And I was pissed everywhere!
The lewd mares were attracted to her latent orgasmic energy.
Right.
When a woman comes, it produces a special raw material, and Risa's nymphomaniac multi-orgasmic ability was a rich reservoir.
I love this wordsmith.
They wanted her. The strange being wanted her. Tart. Risa agreed.
Tart.
She would protect the peace of the world, as well as get all the continuous sex she could ever dream.
That is such a classic.
It just starts off so bad. Risa Kotomi, to put simply, was a 3-year-old girl who loved sex.
Put simply.
Yeah, put simply.
That's just...
I think I'm much more simple than that.
Ugh. God damn.
Mitch just tweeted me. You watching, Mitch? He wants us to talk about Shimonetta. I haven't seen it. I think Anubis has.
I've seen like one episode.
Talk about Shimonetta then, Anubis, because he wants to hear it.
It's good.
Is this because we're talking about porn novels?
Possibly. I'm not sure. Anyway, fucking... That's the greatest review you've ever given, Anubis, by the way. It's good.
God. Freaking... I am never going to be able to get over Maho Shoujo Risa.
Yeah.
Freaking lewd mares of the ultra-sexual netherverse.
We were so close to calling one of the episodes that. I can't remember which one. But...
Lewd mares of the ultra-sexual netherverse.
Oh, it was the fucking, it was episode 10, I think.
We totally should have.
Yeah. But I think I threatened that I would call it a slurp of defiance, so I did.
That was a missed opportunity, though.
Yes, true.
That was a missed opportunity.
Oh, okay, yeah. Alright. Hope you enjoy it, Mitch. He is only 4 episodes in. I imagine shit gets crazier from there.
It gets much crazier.
Yep.
Like, doesn't one of the characters actually come on the main character's face?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happens.
I think you mean Love Nectar, Kevin.
I love nectared all over his face. Jeez.
Okay, this one doesn't have a great description, but I love the title. My twin brother made me cross-dress as him, and now I have to deal with a geeky stalker and a dom beauty who want me in a bind. And literally, the logo says that. This is an English one. But, like...
New from the creators of Oriimo!
I'm looking at the fucking title screen, and it literally says that whole paragraph of a title right on the right side. I also like how it's punctuated like it's Speed Racer saying it. My twin brother made me cross-dress as him, and now I have to deal with a geeky stalker and dumb beauty who want me in a bind.
Oh.
The Room of the Silver Monkey. So no, I don't think we're gonna find anything that tops that. So.
Never, ever. Like, I am amazed I found that.
I found that, actually, I think.
Oh, yeah. Someone did.
What?
Whoever did a good job there.
Yeah. Statistically, it has to be either you or me, because Jekyll Geek didn't do shit. Love ya, but you did not contribute to that great find. Huh. Hold on, I think I might have just stumbled upon something. Over 90% verbal abuse from women. Sarogurumi no Machi is an ADV game for masochists. Is there no escape from this most sadistic from these most sadistic bitches in the city? Get $10,000 just for having sex. The promise brought swarms of people into Tokyo. Tokyo's beggars, vagrants, neets, and students flooded the assembly hall, not quite believing that this was for real. And then the bird cage dropped. Those who were trapped clamored against the bars, but there seemed to be no escape. What the hell is going on? Then a huge wave of women were unleashed inside the cage. The men were delighted. They really could have sex. Tit jobs and blowjob, fuckity, they cheered. It literally just goes into
Fuckity,
Hold on one second.
It ain't no lewd mares, but that's pretty good. It's like the lewd mares are just looking. It's like, not bad.
I wasn't done. Someone just interrupted me. I'm gonna wait till they walk. I'm gonna wait till they walk away before I keep reading this.
Because this is like really embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, it's my mother, so yeah. It's just like that meme that's been going around. Turn off the Bluetooth speakers. We need to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like the best meme I've seen in a long time.
But these women were hardcore, the kinds of sex maniacs who would make a wrestlers beg for mercy. Make a wrestlers. There's no sweetness from the mouths of these babes. If you loved being humiliated, you can't miss this mess. Can you withstand the ferocity of these super S bitches? It starts with wincing dick flicks and slaps, then comes to pube yanking, disgraceful, I love it, disgraceful, question mark, in parentheses, ass fucking, and more. Like, they have to question it, like, disgraceful?
Disgraceful ass fucking?
I'm gonna be honest,
but the question is, who's fucking whose ass? Because if I'm doing it to her, it's just regular L6, but if she's doing it to me, that's pegging.
Well, if there's too many people in this bird cage, it could be anyone.
Oh.
I love how the whole thing takes place in a bird cage. Because we're better to fuck than a bird cage. Although none of the screenshots appear... Oh, what the...
What?
Oh,
oh no.
Words can't describe. I just have to send it to you.
Okay, DM it, man.
I'm DMing it right now. I'm DMing it to both of you. Mitch, I'm not sure what word you're referring to.
Oh, man. There we go.
Because this is an anime podcast, Mitch. Twitch is only for gaming.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
I'd love to start a gaming podcast.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You know, you see what I'm saying? I just looked down and I'm like, what?
I am both concerned and strangely aroused at the moment.
Oh, here's another one.
Oh, God.
This one right here. I don't get
it. Oh, ow. Oh. Ow. That's not okay.
You know what? I'm not even going to describe it. We're just going to leave it up to the audience's imagination.
If we describe it, our video is going to get flagged for indecency.
I didn't even realize you could get flagged for that.
I can try. This girl has a chainsaw for a hand and looks to be ready to cut off a dude's dick while he's coming in her. And
I thought that wasn't good enough.
The other one, how do I describe this? Like,
it's like she's trying to kill ants.
On his pubic hair.
Yeah. Like she's holding a magnifying glass up to the sun.
The magnifying glass thing.
Yeah.
And his dick is just spurting like crazy.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if that's supposed to be his pubic hair or the smoke coming off of it.
Skeet, 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 skeet.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's probably the smoke coming off of it.
As hilarious as this discussion is, it's time to get back to the show.
I mean, that was a pretty good find, man. Is that is that from the birdcage one?
Yes, that is the birdcage one. Sodo Gurumi no Machi Tarade JK ni Name Hame Dekiru to Omatara Shase Shisu Gite Konsui Jotai ni Nata.
All that's going to do is piss me off.
I know, that's why I did it. And the funny thing is, it is 2 to 10 hours long. Not even that long. Not that you could stand it for that much longer.
The title takes longer to say than playing the visual novel.
Exactly.
Mahou Shoujo Risa is only 2 hours long. So
It's like an old Entish visual novel. Takes a long time to say anything worthwhile. So you have to make sure what you're saying is worth taking a long time to say. Anyway, let's get back to the show. We're going to discuss old BGS episode 5 and 20. 5 and 20, Kevin. 5 and 20. Kevin, I want you to understand this because it's very important. 5
and 20.
And 20, right?
And
okay.
20. 5.
Say it back. Say it back to me.
5.
Yeah. I'm with you so far.
And 9.
You can do it.
19? No.
No, I'm
Almost there.
What's 19? And then you add another. What is that?
20.
Yay!
5.
Instead of a lobotomy, you get on the short bus. Why not 4 and 20? Because episode 4 was about Dota. Kevin doesn't know shit about that.
He knows me.
I do know you, Kevin. I know you have horrendous. I know you have horrendous teeth.
You are my friend.
You scared away 60% of our audience with that 30-long rant about Precure in episode 1.
Did I?
Probably.
Did I really, Zeke?
Probably.
I doubt that somehow.
This fucking Venom is great. Anyway, let's get back to the show. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Baka Gaijin show. This is Zeke Freak, and I'm joined by Kevin Fultner. But this is phase 2, so you already knew that. We're going to be continuing to revisit old Baka Gaijin show topics. Mitch just tweeted hashtag Kevin rides the short bus.
Retweet that.
That was my favorite insult like a month. I did. That was my favorite insult like a month ago. Is somebody call the short bus because that shit is retarded. Yep. Probably in retrospect better than my uncle's sister's child, but I mean, you got to switch it up a little. I almost thought Cube retweeted that, but it was you. Even though I got equally girly avatars, so.
Yeah. Mine is pinker than hers.
Is there something I should know about you guys?
Mine is pinker, thank you.
My avatar could beat up your avatar.
In a sissy sot fight.
Right. So, Kevin, you want to start with topic 20 or topic 5?
Which one was which?
5 was the Bishojo Media one. 20 was the hobby hierarchy.
Let's go with hobby hierarchy and leave Bishojo Media for last.
Right.
Because I feel Bishojo Media is going to be the one that's going to go longest.
You do. All right. Anyway, so hobby hierarchies. I explained this to Anubis earlier. Kevin failed to watch the video because he's a scrub. So a hobby hierarchy is when people. It's multiple things. The video spanned a couple of different topics. It's when people with more mainstream hobbies look down upon and judge those with more niche or less mainstream hobbies, and the difficulty it can result in connecting with other people because of your more obscure interest and things like that. And it's not just limited to stuff like live action TV versus anime or something. It can also go between different sorts of anime. Yeah. Also,
live action TV.
I spent a long time ranting about people who get mad at you for not being into sports in the video.
Like, I really don't get that. So some people don't want to watch a bunch of people run around and touch balls. I don't want to watch a bunch of sweaty, muscular men grapple with balls all day.
Granted, that sounds like a good time, but I don't like.
Not the way they do it. Not the way they do it.
No. They don't know.
They do it the boring way.
Right. That is 100% correct.
They do it in the way that does not involve excessive bodily fluids.
Exactly.
And I'm not talking just sweat.
Kevin, you're digging yourself deeper into the hole. Not the show hole, the Kevin hole.
You'd like to be deep in my Kevin hole, wouldn't you, Zeke?
If I had the Pro MLG soundboard up right now, let me tell you. Something along those lines, yes. But so I wanted to talk about people with more mainstream hobbies looking down on people with less mainstream hobbies, like the whole sports thing, which, there's just these. My point in the video was disparaging against these sort of socially acceptable hobbies. So anybody's got some input on that?
Honestly, I think the entire idea of fandom hierarchy is really, really stupid.
It's a low-level way for people to feel better than other people arbitrarily.
Extremely arbitrarily.
What
is actually the point? How is this going to help you in the long run?
And
honestly, my personal opinion on this sort of stuff is, can you put it on a resume, and where will it get you in life? If you don't have an answer to either of that, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Or at least you probably shouldn't derive a higher sense of personal self-worth from it.
Like those people on Tumblr who make friggin' call-out blogs and stuff like that. You can't put that shit on a resume and sell it. You can't shop that around to people saying this is my talent. Maybe if you're pointing out how problematic other people are.
I mean, maybe if you're applying to FemFreak, then maybe. But I don't know if they accept applications even. But I was just one thing I ranted about.
Not if you're a straight white man, they don't.
Two things I ranted about particularly were sports and live action television versus things like anime, where I pointed out that regardless of what's on the screen you're watching, you're doing the same fucking thing, which is just sitting watching a screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Why does that require any sort of judgment, really? You're not. It's not any more or less healthy, and that's the other thing I was ranting about.
This shit's gone on so bad that it's actually become a joke within the anime fandom of stuff like, Naruto is for scrubs and shit like that.
Right.
Like fucking casuals.
I mean, I'm at a point where, to me, it's if you are only consuming media and not like making that interest into something where you're now creating value for other people, you're at the same level. You're at the lowest possible level when it comes to consuming media.
Right.
Yeah,
Not
like
taking a value judgment of them, of the people who just consume as people, but
Right.
let's be real. All those people are doing the same exact thing. Once you bring that to a point where you're making it into something where you can then create value for other people, then you're at a higher level. But until then, you're at
Right.
the lowest level of just sitting down and watching the thing.
Yeah, I was talking about that. These sort of surface level people who have this surface level interest and then they go deeper with it. Why is going deeper with your interest considered a bad thing? You know.
Because apparently it means that you have no life, but honestly, if you're trying to make a life out of it, like, if it's actually productive, I don't see what the big deal is.
Well, it's this whole thing where people look at people who don't do what they do as weird.
Right.
Because everything's got to be this whole "I'm okay, you're okay." We're okay. We're all sitting here watching sports and all that, which is fine. But then when someone goes out of the norm with that, it's weird.
Yeah, can't tell you how many times I actually got picked on and bullied in school just for liking anime and stuff like that.
To be fair, maybe you shouldn't have worn that Pretty Cure shirt, but kind of asking.
I didn't even know what Pretty Cure was back then, actually.
I know.
Though to be fair, I was the guy who checked out all the volumes of Tokyo Mew Mew that they had at the library, so
right.
It wasn't that much better.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm upset that you use the word productive because that's a word I hate a lot. Because what I said in the video as well is that I hate people who are so pressured by society that they feel the need to justify all the hobbies they have and what they do.
I suppose so.
The people who say things like, go on, it's fine.
I don't think that's what I really meant by that, but yeah, I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, like I hate the people who have to justify why they play a game. Like, oh, I feel justified in playing Portal because it increases my spatial awareness or something. I was like, nigga, did you have fun? Like, because that's kind of the point. Like, if
it's the thing with all those, like, I really hate to use the term SJW because there are a lot of my friends who are into social justice elements, and it's like
I don't care.
I don't want to disparage them or whatever, but it's the best term I got. Like all those SJW tracked video games that barely qualify as games.
Exactly.
That's like what I got out of this was a personal respect for the female person and a deeper understanding of the human.
Kevin,
the human body. It's like, did you like it? Did you have fun?
Kevin, you're really gonna make me throw up here, but I hate that kind of self-justification. If you get more out of it than just having fun or enjoying yourself, that's great. More power to you, but that shouldn't be the basis of why you do things. I hate people that have to justify everything they do like that as being.
Sadly, I see way too many people in a professional way, mind you, in a professional capacity, actually go out of their way. It's like, well, this was fun, but it didn't have any deeper meaning to it. So therefore, it's balls. Like, dude. No one cares if it has a deeper meaning or whatever. Everyone cares if you had fun with it. Did you enjoy it? Does it play well? No one cares.
Honestly, I wouldn't even go that far with it.
Yeah.
Nobody cares nobody cares what deeper meaning you derived from it, and nobody really cares if you had fun from it. Which is why I'm saying, if you're just consuming stuff, you're at the lowest possible level.
This is what we were saying.
To create value for other people, then you can start talking about all this stuff, but if you're just consuming the stuff, I'm sorry, you're not at a very high level with it.
Yeah. This is what we were saying when I was on NTR Radio that one time. We were talking about ANN, how they don't add anything substantial to the discussion, but they want you to make you think they do with all the with all this sort of shit.
Yeah, particularly with their weekly episode reviews, where in a lot of them they're really just regurgitating what happened in the episode.
Oh yeah. I did that whole thing that was really popular where I put the ANN review guidelines as like the 5-step guide to writing an ANN review. I think step one would go to the Wikipedia page and try to paraphrase it so it doesn't sound like you just ripped it off.
One of the things that actually really irritated me very recently with an ANN review. Here's the thing. Nick Kramer is like the one reviewer on ANN I disagree with the least. Like, I generally like his reviews, and I generally think he's okay.
I like how you had to frame it as, I disagree with the least, as opposed to, I agree with the most.
Is the dictator I despise the least.
He's relatively likable.
No. First of all, you're wrong. And second of all, I feel like we've all gone through that stage where we find the one ANN writer and they're like, I kind of get this person, and then they fucking stab you in the back.
Yep.
Yeah, like, he's been reviewing Bokumachi, or Erased. Right. And, this past episode was the big reveal.
Dun, dun, dun! Turns out it was Kevin all along.
This past episode was the big reveal, and I really think he way overreacted with it.
He went full fucking Gabby and went like, the story didn't go in the direction I thought it was going to be in, so it's clearly bad storytelling.
Not to mention he gave it the lowest grade.
He gave it like a fucking D- or something.
He gave it, a D-. It's the only grade ANN has above an F. It's like the lowest grade they have above an F.
You know what, Nick Kramer? I give you a D-.
Oh.
It's like D- is the sort of shit I give to Angel Cop and Mad Bull 34, not Bokumachi.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's just one thing that happened in that episode.
That's
in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, if I can.
In the last 5 minutes, everything up to that was great. If you hated the reveal, but you know what? Because of that last 5 minutes, everything is garbage. D-. Fuck it. Fuck everything.
Kevin, I love your passion. But anyway, if I could redirect this to more Gabby hate, because I feel like I haven't done that in like 6 episodes. I hate the way she goes about it because she'll make these predictions in her weekly reviews, or any review really, and she'll be like, I think this is going to happen, this is probable, I've analyzed this, so this means this. And then whenever the show doesn't follow her expectations to the fucking letter, it's bad storytelling. It's bad writing. Like, it didn't do what I thought it was going to do. And then when it does do what she wants it to do, it's predictable. It's trite. I saw it coming. Fucking, you can't win. You can't win with her.
It's like a simulacrum of a high-level conversation about anime, when really, that's all it is. It's trying to appear as though we're having this kind of in-depth discussion where people would use the word, people would actually talk like that, but mean something with it rather than this didn't meet my expectations, so this, and this is bad about it.
Exactly. I mean, we are talking about... Kevin, shut up. We are talking about Gabriella Salacious Ekins here, so... I mean...
Salacious.
She loves that word.
She does. Like, I remember when she reviewed, what was it, fucking Charlotte, it's like, the final episode came up. Charlotte went in a way that I did not expect. Christian allegory.
Christian allegory. Which, I mean, I don't think she's entirely wrong there, but the assertions she made after that weren't on base. Yeah. Also, I think she used the word salacious like at least 4 times in that review. Alone. But anyway, Kevin, what were you going to say?
Salacious character relations.
Salacious. The show is so salacious. I give it salacious out of salacious. Would salate again.
Imagine if she's, like, reviewing food. This steak is so salaciously good.
Yes. Do I detect a hint of salacious? So
Do I do it? Do I detect a hint of salacious sauce?
Salacious.
But fuck.
Oh,
Basically,
we don't want you on Iron Chef Judge panel.
but it just really, what you brought up really just reminded me of what Nick Kramer did with the Bokomachi review. He just went completely off the rails there, and I'm just like, dude, you're a professional. Come on.
Well, I mean, professional blogger.
It's like, look, I might even agree if it was bad. I personally thought it was good, but if I did agree with it, if it was bad, it is nowhere close to D- bad.
Yeah.
Like, you overreacted. Like, that was a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, but the point we're making is not about ANN's dumb opinions. The point we're making is this kind of not contributing to the discussion, but acting like you are.
Here's something that it's both ANN and contributes to that specific point of discussion. It was one of the more recent episodes, not the latest one, but one of the more recent episodes of Erase, the episode 9.
Yes.
The ANN review for that episode was basically a summary of what happened.
Yep.
There's nothing of value that's good. Who's that for?
Yeah. Have you been watching it, Anubis?
Yeah, I need to catch up on the latest episode, but I have been watching it. But my point, who's that for? Because either you're watching the show and then also reading the episode reviews, or you're not watching the show and then reading the episode reviews and then you're just getting a summary. And if you're not watching the show, I'd question why you're reading the episode reviews in the first place. To which brings my point, what is the purpose of doing episode reviews at all?
Yeah,
because you're just judging the anime episode by episode, and is it supposed to average out, or is it supposed to be, or we're just looking at every episode as an individual thing when in reality it's part of continuity? Or I've never seen the purpose for episodic reviews.
I mean, I see the potential in the format, but just not the way they do it.
Yeah.
The way they do it is fucking clickbait on a stick. So,
like, unless it's like the episodic review blogs from like 6 years ago,
or even
this episode, like, saw a few impressions from the author and a whole bunch of screenshots, and then the comments are people who watched the episode and also enjoyed it.
That's actually something that actually happens on a website I actually like called the Cart Driver.
Yeah, stuff like that. That I can see value in, but the way ANN does it, I don't know what they're trying to do, what the purpose is.
Locke says he found the problem with the 3-year-old hentai magical girl. Apparently the first digit was censored. I mean, it could be 3, 23, 83, 3,333, etc.
Yeah, it's been replaced with an asterisk, but
yeah.
But, it is.
Locke, did you edit it? Locke.
As it is, it says a 3-year-old magical girl who loves sex.
Don't tell him what he can and can't do. He was meant to do this.
But
yeah, that's my gripe with it. The format is completely useless to me, and it doesn't have any value to it inherently. Now, that said, if you're gonna do it in a way that creates value. Yeah. But if there's no way to do it that also creates a lot of value for the reader, then maybe it's not a good idea to have that formatted in the first place. But that's just me.
Right.
I'm obviously an idiot, and knows what they're doing.
Totally. That's why they won't call you back for Ancast.
Oh, of course.
You're an idiot.
Weren't you on Ancast at one point?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm a bit certain. No, that's not true. I've only finished like a couple. I've only fully listened to a couple ANN cast episodes since then.
I have not listened to a single one, and they had you on, and I still didn't listen to it. That's how bad they are.
There you go.
Yeah.
The only one I've honestly listened to was the one where they interviewed Carl Masek. if only because I got to learn more about Streamline Pictures and Harmony Gold.
Right.
But like, yeah, fuck.
But yeah, that's my point. It's like
Right.
the format itself doesn't create. If the format itself doesn't create value, and there's no way you can present it in a way that creates value, maybe the format's a bad idea.
What I like more than that is just I like more discussion posts, because every week when it's not being interrupted by ping pong tournaments, there's an Arc 5 discussion post on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Subreddit, and you get all these different opinions talking about this episode and previous ones, and analyzing things and predicting things and stuff like that. When you have that kind of collective sort of discussion, I think that's way more valuable than fucking Gabby telling me that that heroism is a masculine concept.
Oh my god. Man,
you know what I mean?
One Punch Man.
So I think she didn't review it.
Who did?
Nick, I think. Maybe Theron?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nick or Theron? I don't know.
It was either Nick or Jacob.
It might have been Joke Chapman, actually.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, that's a whole lot better of a way to go about it. Because then it's not, you don't have to rely on a person creating value for the people reading your site. You just have, hey, let's talk about the episode.
Yeah, that's a much better way to
make it a
go
forum.
about it. Yeah. And I'm not saying that one person's opinion can't have value. I'm saying nobody at A&N's opinions have value, but I'm saying that one person can.
That's actually exactly what I'm saying. One person's opinion has no value.
As opposed to the collective, yes, I agree.
As opposed to the collective.
Yeah.
When the collective can engage in a discussion, that's what. And honestly, no one person's opinion has value in that context either. But it's the discussion that creates value. It's the sharing of people's opinions and the sharing of people's perspectives more so that creates value.
I just gotta type something. Somebody say something.
Yeah.
But
honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
Basically repeating ourselves at this point.
We do that here. But yeah, just it's silly. I hate people that have to justify their own hobbies. I hate people that look down on other people for their hobbies. I hate A&N. That's basically kind of the gist of the.
It's amazing how much. If anything, A&N actually perpetuates that sort of action.
Oh,
because
no, of course.
They do that a lot themselves.
Yes, they do. They do perpetuate this kind of cycle.
God, I cannot tell you how many times I have seen. Again,
there's a certain kind.
One of the most.
Go on, it's fine.
I've mentioned it. I mentioned it a number of episodes ago, but one of the most offensive reviews I saw on there was where Carl Kimlinger equated liking Mazinger Z to Stockholm syndrome.
Right.
Wow, that is some judgment right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there's a certain subset of dumbasses or anime fans that religiously read A&N, and A&N tells them exactly what they want to hear. So they are perpetuating this sort of fragmentation of the anime community.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that you can't speak to your audience, but when you speak to your audience so exclusively and so in such extreme terms,
and shut out any other sort of dialogue,
and shadow ban people like Zach does, then you are
word filter on your forum.
Yeah, that's true. It's true, but and other such things. But you are perpetuating the cycle. Yeah, it is. I didn't even listen to when you were on, but didn't Zach just spend the whole episode just shooting down your points?
I wouldn't say the whole episode, but he tried to.
I mean, 90% maybe.
Yeah,
I'm sure at some point he had to say
Yes.
something like,
And let me
"Welcome to the
get-
Endcast. We're dumb."
And let me guess, he was doing it in the most arbitrary fashions he could think of.
No, I haven't listened to the episode in a while, so this is just
And it was
based off of
it
my
was a while
subjective
ago.
memory.
Wasn't it like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was like 2014, 2013.
Something like that.
It was
What was the
April
name
of some year.
What was the name of the episode? I'll have to listen to it.
Armoigen.
Yeah, they were talking about Moe.
All right. Doesn't
yeah.
that go into our next topic?
A little bit. Our next topic, based on Baka Gaijin Show Classic Episode 5, Prevalence of Bishoujo Media, where I kept mispronouncing it as Baishoujo because I'm stupid.
Don't worry,
see-
you have improved.
Yeah. Well, somebody pointed out in the
improved
comments of
yourself.
that. Somebody pointed out in the comment of that video, and they're like, "You're saying it wrong," and you said it 200
That was
times in
me.
the video. That was you.
That was yeah.
Fuck you. I'm looking that up. That was not you.
I
You
think
fucking poser.
I think that might have been me.
Fucking poser. It was
Because
not you.
I actually do remember pointing that out to you at one point in one video.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna check this shit because I think you're a fucking poser and you're just taking credit for other people's hard ingenuity and things.
I pointed out
Stuff.
to you like I'm pretty sure I pointed out to either you or it might have been Cube the Third.
Might have been. He can be
Probably.
pretty dumb.
Hey.
Yeah.
He's
You
my
listen to his
other
podcast.
He's my other host. Thank you.
Yeah, you should listen to his podcast, Otaku Midnight. I was on it once. It's gone downhill since then, but you know. It's
We
not
love you,
showing any
man.
It's not showing any comments, so I don't know what the fuck happened.
Anyway, but
Anyway,
the
whatever.
prevalence of Bishoujo media.
Yeah.
Yes. Could you bring us in on that?
Why's everything got to be about like 4 or 5 girls? That's my question.
Because girls are cool. Because girls are nice. Girls are nice. Girls are-
I was more pissed off then than I am now because I found my niche again. But because I told you this is the year that Shonen's coming back for some reason. I don't know why it's bizarrely this year. But
One Punch Man probably did something.
it was not. You take that back. You shut your Nick Kramer mouth. Anyway, you go through the chart every season and you see all of these Bishoujo shows that don't go anywhere, but they just kind of exist in this vast quantity of derivative crap. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what kind of shows do you think about?
I
Do
know
you
what
think
you're
it's, like,
saying,
an
and the same thing
example-
happened in like the early 2000s. We just don't remember those shows because that was the early 2000s, and that's
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not fucking.
swath of mid-level media that
Don't
comes out throughout any. Like, none of these shows are going to be remembered in 10 years.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not the fucking guy being like they don't make mecha anymore or all music sucks today. I'm not that guy. I'm not
They
saying.
don't make them like they used to.
I'm less saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying so much. Just in this time period, I don't get why this is a thing when it's not really financially viable to make these kinds of garbage, because it's like there's a few hits in that genre, but then everything else falls off. You know what I'm saying?
By
Just like in the early 2000s.
Okay, now here's the thing.
Oh,
By Bishoujo, what exactly type of show do you mean? Because I hear Bishoujo thrown around all over the place, and it can mean any number of series. Any number of type of series.
I'm sorry, I just saw Duel Masters VSRF and I had to laugh. Well, what was the thing I said? It clearly stands for very shitty repetitive franchise.
That
It's a
I'm
12
not
Duel
getting
Master series. Anyway. I'm talking harems. I'm talking magical girl shows. I'm talking shit like Chronicles of the Going Home Club, those kind of slice of life things.
Yeah.
Anything in that kind of vein that sells itself on its Bishojos alone.
As like on like cute girls and stuff. I'm probably the wrong person to talk about that because I kind of like a lot of those shows.
You like Chronicles of the Going Home Club?
Now, admittedly, I haven't seen that one, but
I don't recommend it.
which one is that anyway?
Exactly.
I am Googling it. Going Club. Oh, that one.
That one.
Oh yeah, I'm not interested in that one.
Yeah.
That one just looks boring.
That's my thing. And the reason I made that video like a year and a half ago was because I was that guy back then that watched everything every season, and I saw all this crap. And I didn't drop shit as much as I did now back then. You had to be stupidly bad for me to drop you back then.
Yeah.
I can't even think of an example because I've watched shit like fucking Dragon R all the way through. But
and like I'm not talking like stupidly bad like Bokamachi episode 10 according to Nick Creamer stupidly bad.
That's really bad. No, that brings up another point that I want to bring up. Just to quickly go back to the legal streaming thing because I forgot about this point entirely because I brought up Dragon R. There's also times, and this is something that's worth discussing, there's also times when official streams will cut out scenes and bits of pieces of the show to sell you later on Blu-ray. What do you guys think about that? Because that happened with Dragon R.
Is that something the streaming service did themselves?
Yes. Yeah, because I watched the fan subs from that one channel that airs absolutely everything. What's that one channel?
ATX?
Yeah, ATX. I watched the ATX stuff, and that had all the tentacle rape you could ever ask for. I didn't ask for it, but I got it. But I remember people were upset at the Funimation streams because they were deliberately cutting out bits of the show, even stuff that was airing on other channels that aren't ATX. Even stuff that got past those network censors. I'm not talking about stuff the network censored. I'm talking about stuff that Funimation cut out so they could sell it back to you with the Blu-ray release. Where do you stand on that?
I'm gonna have to step very far over the line then. In that case, I would justify using illegal streaming sites.
Because
your job is to serve the anime. That's it.
Give us a product equal to what the Japanese got. If you're not giving us that, then you fail.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Because like, what does a Funimation subscription cost? Like $11 a month or some shit?
I don't even know.
I don't know, but you're paying them money and they're not giving you the full product, unless you pay them more money, and it's not even their product.
Oh, seriously? With the subscription, they still cut the stuff out?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't even have to step very far over the line for that.
I mean, yeah, while I was watching, you couldn't even watch it without a subscription, I don't think, unless you waited like 2 weeks after an episode and went to Hulu or something. But, yeah, like,
I know, yeah. If that's what you're doing, then your business model is wrecked, and I don't really feel sorry for you if you lose money.
Yeah, because people were very upset about that. I don't know if they still do that. That's the only show I can remember off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I mean, it is Funimation, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they backed off on that, but at the same time, we also have it replaced with really, really bad subtitles now.
Oh,
like the no-rin subtitles.
Oh, were those bad? Because I watched that whole show from them.
Well, it was one show that had like pretty much incomprehensible subs.
I don't remember that. Did they change it? Because I remember them being fine.
It was probably a different show.
Probably wasn't No-Rin, because I remember that being good. I like that show. That was funny.
Though, admittedly, just today, someone at apparently there was a convention today that Funimation had a panel at, and someone at the panel advertised No-Rin as Hannah Montana on a farm.
What the fuck? Oh, I mean... Hold on, I have to think about that for a second. In the most abstracted way imaginable, perhaps. I mean, it is about... oh my god, it kind of is the Hannah Montana movie. Because it got the idol that goes to the rural area, and... yeah. Wow! It really was the Hannah Montana movie. Fuck?
I think I broke Zeke.
I
I think Funimation broke Zeke.
what? Oh, my neck hurts. I am tilting so hard. Oh. Oh.
That is just a mind-numbing leap of logic that somehow fits.
God. Marketing geniuses. Fucking boobies for the win.
Oh my god. What was that? Master of Martial Arts?
No, that was Sekirei.
Sekirei.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah. My God. I'm sorry. I have a new perspective on life now.
That
What
was
were we
cosmic,
talking?
man.
Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to bring that Dragonar
The
situation
prevalence of Bishojo media.
up. Right.
Honestly, it's difficult for me. It's difficult for me to have an opinion on that because I watch so much of that crap.
Okay,
Like,
so
I
Kevin,
friggin' own Kinmoza. Okay.
I get it, Kevin. You're a fucking pussy-whipped loser. But anyway. Anubis, rational human being.
What
You
I'm saying-
assume that I get pussy.
What I'm saying is, though,
You don't have to get pussy to get pussy whipped.
who remembers Steel Angel Karumi?
Me.
Nope. I know the name.
Yeah, like nobody, not
I can't
many
tell- I
people
can't-
who are still into anime today really look back fondly on Steel Angel Karumi. It was one of those mid-level shows about a bunch of girls and a whole bunch of nudity and stuff, and it's not really all that memorable because it didn't have a whole lot to remember about it. It's just one of those
Like, it's not.
mediocre shows it wasn't really bad, but it wasn't otherwise didn't have a whole lot going for it, and it came out in the early 2000s and was forgotten. And
Like, it
that's
wasn't-
what's going to happen to a whole lot of these really mid-level Bishoujo anime.
Like, it wasn't something like Strike Witches, which actually had some substance.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, big fan of Strike Witches right here.
Huge fan.
Nobody cares. Anyway. I mean, I
I
care that
care.
Anubis is, but I care that Anubis is. Kevin, I mean...
Why you gotta bust my balls, bruh?
I think life did that for me.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I can't deny that.
Yeah. But anyway, it's like, I realize this is sort of an era by era thing, and whatever the big hits are, competitors will copy and paste less successfully. But at some point, I just have to wonder, what is the business sense in this? Because it's like...
Short-term sales.
Barely.
Honestly, in a lot of
There's
cases,
sales,
it's
there's
just
a
it's a quick cash grab.
That doesn't... It can't be a cash grab if it doesn't turn a profit, is my point.
All right, then the next question to ask is, are these turning a short-term profit? And we'd have to have statistics for that.
You're correct. But from where I'm standing and the data that I've seen, which isn't exact, it's stuff like Oricon sales reports and shit like that. I obviously don't have the full picture here, and I don't think anyone outside of these production committees really does. But from where I'm standing, most of them know. So I think at the time, and you got to remember.
Okay, to a certain extent, what we really need to know is, how much do they sell Vice? How much did they cost to produce? Because sales is one thing, but sales versus cost is what really counts as far as judging whether or not these are effective cash grabs or not.
That's true, but anime costs what anime costs. I remember there was an article from I think it was the director of One Punch Man, who said that that show just has a normal budget, but it's just the talent and the talent of the animators and the availability and the good scheduling and shit like that allows you to make things that look like that. And it's all.
The animators really put their all into One Punch Man.
I mean, there's certainly
they really wanted to show off there.
Yeah, there's certainly anime that look and are animated better because they have a higher budget. There's stuff like Fate Stay Night, yes, but most of the time it's more of an issue of proper scheduling, proper management, and getting the right talent. But other than that, for the most part, anime costs what it costs. And according to that article we were reading earlier, it's something like $153,000 per episode or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
People,
well, what I'm saying is, given that metric, are these shows making a profit? It doesn't matter how good they are. It really doesn't.
and what I'm telling you is generally no. Because if we assume these have average budgets, and since they're average shows, they may as well have average budgets, then, Kevin, people always say something like 4K and over is okay, and then less than that is doing badly.
Yeah,
Something
but
along those
that is very, very.
Yeah, I know. This is a vague conversation, Kevin. This is not a data analysis podcast.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a data analysis podcast, to be honest.
People do tend to say that, but I kind of raise my eyebrow at that. It's like,
Well, because I think you're raising your eyes.
Given 4K is okay, Steel Angel Kurumi did 5K, Steel Angel Kurumi 2 did 5K, Mabaraho did 5K.
How old are these shows, by the way? I'm just curious.
They are all early 2000s.
All right.
I know Mabaraho was 2003.
Kevin, say something. Or whatever.
No, nothing.
You had an idea, Kevin, and I'm sure it was.
Not really.
I'm sure it was passable.
Steel Angel Kurumi was 2000.
Right. But then I'm talking about things. Sure, like I don't have. That's the thing. I can't remember a whole lot off the top of my head. And remember,
they're not memorable.
Well, yeah, what you got to keep in mind is that we're talking about a topic that I brought up a year and a half ago when I used to make videos just because I was feeling antsy about something at the moment. You know, so don't act like I'm trying to spread any kind of message right now.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm just trying to bring something to the discussion past.
Yeah, that's true. But we're talking about this because I'm like, Kevin, look at my old BGS episodes. What looks interesting to you? And he's like, 5, 6, 20. I'm like, okay, we'll talk about that. You know, so I'm just saying.
I mean, A Channel's 2011. Nobody remembers that. That did 5K.
Yeah.
The one thing I remember is that the main character, like the girl with the forehead, I forget her name, was voiced by.
Wow, that's just such a descriptor.
Was voiced by the same person who did Tsukasa from Lucky Star. That's all I remember.
So I don't even know that much about it.
Right.
Oh, and there was apparently some lolly girl with some sea urchin haircut.
Setting aside specific names, I'm talking about these kinds of shoujo shows that sell 800 copies, 1,000 copies, 1,500 copies, shit like that.
Well, and then how many of those are there?
All of them.
You know, Kevin, you're not that far off. I'm not saying every single one is that. I'm just saying, like, I know this is a hits-based industry, but it seems kind of senseless to me to copy and paste the way people do if it's not even really guaranteed to make that quick buck.
Here's another reason they might do it.
Well, okay, I think here's the way I look at it.
Okay.
You have this general purpose wide genre,
right,
that generally does better than other mid-level shows of that genre. You see more of those shows selling not even a whole lot, but enough to get by than other mid-level shows of other genres.
Right.
So are you going to take a gamble in some other genre, or are you going to take the safer gamble, still a gamble, but it's a safer gamble, and create shows in the genre that's popular?
There's another reason why they might do it.
Oh, you're going to reference the animators can't draw guys thing?
No.
Oh,
actually, another reason why they might do it, and this is actually fairly common in America as well, is that certain companies might be trying to keep certain time slots on TV to themselves.
That's true. That is.
So they combine what's generally popular, Bishoujo media,
right,
with a disposable sort of premise or whatever.
Right.
Put on some like B-level animators, slap something together, and they still keep the time slot.
Kevin, that sounds. The funny thing is that sounds more conspiratorial than it probably is.
That's not what I'm intending.
I think it's also worth considering that a lot of the way anime is produced is work for hire.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
So these companies might not really get a choice in the matter. They take what they can get.
Oh no, I'm not blaming anyone in particular. You know.
And here's the thing. Anime, when it's broadcast on TV in Japan, is basically just an advertisement for the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And that is paying, and it's essentially trying to keep your advertising space.
I suppose so.
Keep your advertising space for better shows.
I was also going to bring up the you retweeted this meme about the director who says he can't do the projects he wants to do, and then the animator's like, I like drawing pretty girls.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, and that's shown. I think it was Shonen Sunday. Put out that statement that says we get all these applicants that are trying to draw ostensibly shonen manga, but can't draw guys very well.
Yeah, they all end up going for the plain Jane everyman design. They don't look interesting.
I wonder if that's how we got Nisekoi.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because I cannot tell you what the fucking main character there looks like, but I can tell you what the girls look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually.
Yeah. When I first found out Nisekoi's in Shonen Jump, that just blew my mind. Not quite as much as Hannah Montana, the movie Norin, blowing my mind, but it's up there.
Like, that just stopped you right there. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's not inaccurate.
Yeah. That was quite the moment. You know, my sister's been reading Nisekoi lately, and Anubis, you'll be happy about this, because I'm about to disown her because she doesn't like Onodera either.
Well, I mean, there's just no character in that show I'm into at all.
I really don't like Nisekoi.
That's true. That's true. I'm just saying you can be her brother now because I'm disowning her.
Good.
Okay. The most
talk about how none of these characters like either the girl's either a bitch or she isn't attractive at all.
Right. I get what you're saying. I feel you.
Yeah.
Kevin, say something. If you're going to.
Blah.
Good enough.
There you go.
That's the usual level of Kevin contribution on this show.
Hey!
I mean, it ain't no lie.
Yeah, with Bishoujo Media, ad space could also be it's probably the most reasonable reason they're doing it.
Right.
It's quick to produce.
There's a lot of fact.
It's quick to produce. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort. You just slap together a script and ship it out.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of factors. All the factors we mentioned probably play a part in this. And it may also just be that other types of shows have different kinds of distribution models. You know.
That's true.
The reason,
you're probably not going to find frickin' Kinmoza in Walmart.
Well, no. I'm not talking about that kind of distribution. What I'm saying is, it's kind of resurfacing now, but the reason for the last 5 or so years there was less shonen was because there was just less long runners in general.
Yeah.
You know.
But there are much more now.
Yeah, and then they keep getting canceled because of sports.
Or at the very least, there are more shows now that have the potential to... Sorry, there are more manga now that have the potential for long-running status.
And to be fair, there's just
a whole
lot more media now, period.
That's true.
Or it's something that you could revisit a well of later. Like Attack on Titan, we're getting a new season in 2017.
Yep.
I thought it was this year. What the fuck?
They had to push it forward due to scheduling issues.
Oh, of course they didn't. Didn't they already push it forward? Let me get some more ping pong tournaments, am I right? Who wants those?
And the creator of, and in fact, Yusuke Murata, the artist for One Punch Man, the manga version, actually did say that he is working on making more chapters of One Punch Man faster so that they can get a second season going.
Mm.
Like, he
I
saw
like
the
it.
anime, loved it, and really wants a second season.
See, I don't really care, but I like his dedication.
But,
Mm.
yeah.
I'm just eating
Yeah,
grapes now.
there it's definitely a multifaceted issue, but I think that it's
Like I said, I was more angry then than I am now.
yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
just previously it's just like frothing at the mouth. You son of a! Now it's just like, well, this is a thing, and I mean, it's like, it's annoying, but I'm not gonna get all.
I mean,
bent out of shape
that's
over
how
it.
BGS started, was just me ranting about shit. You know? You notice I start with all of them labeled rants, and then eventually I start labeling them topics, because I started ranting less.
Yeah.
And I do want to do those kind of solo videos again, but I want to wait till I have the skill to make them something more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing a juggling act with 2 shows, and Otaku Midnight is expanding, so I'm going to have even
Is it
less
really
time for, so to a degree. But,
Well, I mean, you've got a lot you've got a lot to go from zero.
I hope you mean podcast zero. Otherwise, that is very offensive.
No, I mean,
Whoa. I was talking about stepping far over the line. That's stepping very far over the line.
what I meant was you've got a lot. Let me rephrase that. What I meant is there's a world of possibilities from when you go from not making any podcasts to making episodes. Like you're
I was
currently.
about to say.
That's marginally better.
What I meant was you're not currently making episodes, so if you're going to start making more episodes, you can only go up.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
But
I'm almost sorry.
Fact of the matter is, I'm
sorry.
probably going to have less time for Baka Gaijin show. I'll still be able to be on for every single episode, but and of course the topics are getting fewer and further between. But
I know it's hard.
because we burned through all the good ones in like 10 episodes.
That's why NCR Radio is bi-weekly. That's the specific reason why it's bi-weekly.
We kind of are
Well,
now
we were
too, but
we were initially bi-weekly, but at some point we realized, shit, we can't do this either.
No, we were weekly at
Now
first, but the thing is, we started out weekly, and we started out with like 3 major topics per episode, and we just kind of burned through them really quickly.
Yeah, we did.
Man, it sounds different when I take my headphones off when I talk.
Like what was it? Like Otaku Midnight was on Tuesdays, Baka Gaijin was Saturdays,
Yep.
and then Baka Gaijin moved to Sundays or something.
We kept moving around because our guests had different schedules. We usually do it on Saturdays now.
Yeah, but I do remember, and we burned through fucking everything.
Yeah. Well, grapes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Otaku Midnight is going to be expanding into a couple of other facets. I can't really explain them all right now because it's all very much up in the air, but we're going to be doing some stuff with the format.
I mean, if your faucets are up in the air, that's probably a problem. You should call your plumber.
But yeah, I can't say anything concrete now, but some things are going to be changing a little bit. So
everything you know is wrong. As
black
the song.
is white, up is down, and short is long.
Exactly. See, Kevin gets it.
I don't.
It's a Weird Al song.
Okay.
So, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at @CCharmanderK, and you can also find me on Tumblr at the same place. And if you would be so kind as to tune in on the 16th for Otaku Midnight, where we will be interviewing Kira Vincent Davis.
Do it.
Yes, Mitch, we would take user questions if people sent them to us. Granted, I did a shit job at promoting the email. The email is bakagaijinshow@gmail.com. You can send anything you want us. You can send any kind of discussion topic, questions, or anything you want us to read out loud there. If you find any particularly hilarious VNDB descriptions, we love those.
Oh my god, yes. If you can somehow manage to top the lewd mares of the ultrasexual Netherverse, please let us know.
Right. So, Anubis, thanks for being on again. Where can people find you?
For having me. You can find me at TeAnubis on Twitter. You can find me on NTR Radio. It's she'slostcontrol.net/podcast, or you can go to she'slostcontrol.net/NTR Radio. They basically lead the same place.
Yeah.
You can find me on she'slostcontrol.net. You can find me at iyashike.moe. You can check out the stuff I and other people write in Yan the Magazine, Not Your Average Anime Nerds. And I think that's it.
I've been meaning to ask, that new IRC chat, that's because of that big YouTube chat incident, right?
Yes, sir.
What happened?
I'm not sure, but I screen capped the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened either. Oh, the gist is a whole bunch of people came in and started acting up.
I think what happened is you prodded the wrath of A or something, because something was up with
It wasn't A, it was B. I think it
was
was
B.
Fuck.
Whoa.
B?
That's
Oh,
like
God.
one letter later.
Man, don't incur the wrath of B, man.
So yeah, I decided.
You will be flooded with dicks for weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So I decided you know what, I'm gonna put this in a place where I can control it.
Right. Maybe next time I'll actually join it. I couldn't find the link. Where can you find that link?
So what you do is you go to she'slostcontrol.net/podcast. In the top right corner, you see the chat link. Click that. That'll take you to an embedded IRC channel. Give yourself a nickname and join us in Pound or Hass SLC Media on irc.ryzen.net.
That sounds very rehearsed.
Yeah, no, I basically, like, as soon as someone asked me about that, I basically launched into that entire shtick, so I just don't have to think at all when I say it.
Is it tomorrow or next week?
It is next week.
All right, yeah. That's what I thought. I didn't even
We'll
finish.
be talking about A1, the steak sauce.
Yeah, the steak sauce. Great steak sauce.
They also make anime.
Yeah, occasionally. It's like it's on the side, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Phoenix
Just like
Wright
steak
next
sauce,
week.
it's on the side.
Speaking of A1, Phoenix Wright anime next month. I can't wait.
Champ. Probably not gonna watch it, but I'm happy that it exists.
Good for you, Kevin. I don't care.
Of course not.
It's like, I'm not even trying to be cute. I am actually happy that they're finally making a Phoenix Wright anime. I'm just not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I've been a
glad
fan of
for
it
you.
for years, so
Yeah. No. And I'm Zeke Freak. If you like this content and other things like it, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. The button is down there. You can follow me on Twitter, Zeke Freak, Hummingbird, Zeke Freak, Steam, Zeke Freak, PSN, Zeke Freak, all the things everywhere, Zeke Freak, except the NISA forums. Thank you, A Dude Abides. It's just your opinion, man. And until next time, Zeke Freak out. Ciao, ciao for now.